little new lighting in here and everything, huh? So we're good. Man, I felt like I just ran across the hall. So 12:02, I missed it by 2 minutes. So first of all, let me apologize. It's for a good cause, though, I promise. We were doing some sergeant interviews today. So Matt, would I sound okay coming across? I don't know if we got the mic up or if we're good. So what I'll do is I'm going to ask anyone who's logged on to just let us know if the visual is coming across okay and if you can hear us okay. I don't when I'm looking at the comments here, I guess you can read them out. I'm not seeing any with there we go. So yeah, so just please let me know if we're coming across okay, if you can see us and hear us all right. Again, I apologize. We're interviewing for the position of sergeant today, and I think we have 6 interviews to do. So we've got about half of those done. We're going to take a break and then do the second half after this session here with Chat with the Chief. But I did not want to skip this. This is important. We just came off of a press conference about our crime numbers mid-year. I want to talk a little bit about that, and then just address any questions. Right? This is a chance for us to have some dialogue and just some open conversations back and forth. So let me just say some hello first, and we start at the top. Ria, how are you? I hope you're doing well. School's about to start back. Good afternoon. Am I reading that right? Is it Nedco? Am I reading that right? Hope all is well. Good. Thanks for being here and joining us today. Newport News. Oh, that's a Newport News Police Foundation. Can hear you and see you. Well, whoever that is from the Newport News Police Foundation, I appreciate that. We got a little bit of new lighting set up here, so Matt and Kelly have done some altering. I was like, man, am I in the right spot? Cameron, hey man, thanks for being here today. And I appreciate you coming to the press conference too. Was that Maya? Did I just see the word my friend Maya up there? Maya, thank you for being here. I think you got to spend a little bit of time with us. What was it? One day last week, coming down and talking to the forensics team and meeting with Sergeant Crawford. I heard you took a lot of notes, Maya. I heard there was a lot of handwriting going on. But I did talk to the forensic specialists and technicians. They said they really enjoyed the visit, and I know you and I have talked a few times, so I think that's great. Miss Dance, thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Chester, my friend, good to see you. Thanks for joining in. Miss Dance, hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here. I know you got a lot going on. Miss Turner, good afternoon. Kathy, right? Kathy, thank you for joining us. And just being here, spending a little bit of time with us, I appreciate that. Nedco, let me tell you, man, that means more to me than anything I could put on a wall. I will tell you, we're just doing some sergeant interviews and a couple of things that come over, and I really like coming out is people just talking about our relationship with our community. And when we look at new leadership, I'm going to share a little bit about that process. I know we haven't opened up much about that. But when we select new sergeants, lieutenants, captains, assistant chiefs, we use members of the community. We've had former school teachers, we've had principals, we've had individuals, executives from the Boys and Girls Club. We have an individual today from that works in the administration side of the house at Enterprise Car Realty. We've had individuals that are current pastors of churches. We've had the president of the NAACP, Ms. Brooks, helped us select our next lieutenants. Pastor Maxwell has been on the panel. I've used Dr. Lyons and Karen Witherspoon, HR directors, who've helped us select our new assistant chiefs over the years. And I just think that's a benefit because I think civilians ask different questions than we do in the law enforcement profession. And what I'm looking for is I want our community to have a say in what the leadership looks like in this organization so that the individuals that I talk to and work with, not only just the police department, but in our community, that we're working together. And I want that input. So I'm very, very thankful for individuals that have helped us and are helping us in this process. We did our lieutenant interviews about 2 weeks ago. We're doing sergeant interviews. We sounded okay, Kelly? We're doing sergeant interviews this week, and then with the retirement of Captain J.P. Smith, we're doing our captain interviews at the end of the month. So I'm just waiting for that list to come out, and we'll do the interview process and go forward. So I'm excited excited about that. And you look like you have a suntan. It must be the new lighting. Yeah, Anna, does it make me look younger? Because that's what Matt was going for. He was trying to make me look a little bit younger, and I'm good with that, right? I'm good with that. Ms. Lewis, hey Chief Drew, how are you? Appreciate you being here, and I hope you and family are doing well. Have I caught up with everybody, Matt? I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Did I say hello to everyone? Yeah. Got where everybody good? Perfect. So a couple things as we have these sessions, right? This is just a way for us to have some open dialogue. I usually talk a little bit about crime, and what I want to do is sometimes there's different perceptions, and people think this, we heard that. So try to clear up any of those things. Like I said, we just had a press conference. I was honored myself. I got to stand next with the mayor, and we just kind of talked about our mid-year numbers, how we got to where we're at. We're going to talk a little bit about that, and then I'll go into kind of what's been going on in the police department. We're coming to the end of our summer. Look, I'm telling you, I thought we just had like Thanksgiving dinner like a month ago. We're coming to the end of August. School's right around the corner. We've had some meetings about what we're going to do now with the new school year and in that first week of school. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Our 9/11 ceremony is right around the corner in September. We're going to do an academy graduation in October. We'll touch base on that today. We have a new academy starting in October. We have an academy class graduating in October. And the next class, did I hit something? I didn't touch anything. Don't blame that on me. I didn't touch anything. And there's the glow back, right? And then we have another class that's in currently that will graduate around February. I'm excited about that. So we'll touch base on some of those things. I will also touch base on a little bit of things that are we're trying to address right now, not solely just in law enforcement, but the police department plays a role. So I want to share with you a little bit about that. So let's start with, as we go through, if you have a question or a comment, please, it can just be a statement, or if you have a question. Now, if you have a question about a case, I want to be very cautious. I'm not going to say anything that jeopardizes the work the detectives are doing or the cases in the Commonwealth Attorney's Office. We can talk 50-foot level if you want about the impact and the response and where we're at. I can share you a little bit of those things. And what I'll do is I'll try to hit each post that comes in. If I miss one, charge that to my heart. But I don't want to skip anyone. So I may ask Matt, hey, can we scroll back up? Do we hit everyone? So Matt's working with me today. We're going to do this session from 12 to 1, and then we'll be back again 6 o'clock this evening. Are you back with me, Matt? Or me and Kelly? So Kelly will be working with me this evening. So see, Anna, younger, and your top of your head doesn't look sharp. Yeah, well, so there you go, Anna. I like the lighting, and it looks like I just got back from vacation or something, right? My gosh, and let me tell you, talking about being out in the sun, though, Saturday, Matt, I'm telling you, I think I went to 10 different events on Saturday. We were running everywhere. There were officers at all these different locations, but it was a lot of back-to-school events, celebration downtown, City Center on Saturday night. There was just a lot. Regrettably, we had a early morning incident, a shooting incident that resulted in a death. But man, it was a lot. So I was out all day Saturday, and then I got to attend church service on Sunday, and it was a little bit more slower pace. But Saturday was like 100 miles an hour, man. So I appreciate that, Hannah. Latoya, Chief, looking light skin. I'm ready to join the academy under your leadership. Well, Ms. Dance, we are still accepting applications. We had an individual that walked in today. I was walking in this morning, and an individual wanted to join the department, and I got him hooked up with Chandler and Watkins. I sent the dynamic duo out there to talk to him. So if that's something you want to do, let us know, and we can move in that direction. Christine, speed enforcement. Christine, is that a statement, or like what are we doing about it, or talk to me a little bit, help me out a little bit. I will tell you, I had this conversation with the assistant city manager the day of the press conference. Do you know the number one complaint I get right now, the number one concern that citizens have is speed enforcement? And now it may change different locations, but we're not. the number one complaint isn't about drug dealing. It's not about shooting or violence. The number one concern I get from citizens right now is speeding in our city, and there's different ways to look at that. You know, right now officers, when they're between calls, that we have some areas that we have issues with concern from speed. I certainly get that. You know, the traffic accidents that we see, and I see it myself. Some of the crazy driving, whether it's motorcycles going in and out of the road or popping wheelies or the speed. And I've really seen that pick up since COVID. So how do we address that? So one way is officers doing speed enforcement when they're between calls for service, but you're kind of hit and miss. The other is you can do the speed trailers, which let people know what their speed is, or speed cameras, if you will. But I really think the best way is to have it consistent. I was having this conversation with one of the council members over the weekend, that a consistent and concerted effort on speed enforcement. So to do that, though, I have to have the manpower able to do that. So like I said, we've got 2 academy classes in the academy right now. 14 individuals, if everyone passes the final tests and all that, will graduate in October, and another 19 will graduate in February. That's a tremendous benefit for us. So my intent is to have a speed component in each precinct. So instead of having it centrally located, which we've done in the past, we're going to try and put it in each precinct. If we're holding the captains responsible for the crime that happens in their area, for the complaints that happen in their area, for the concerns that happen in their area, for the speed in their area, I've got to give them the resources to deal with that, right? From the environmental side to dealing with blight, to dealing with homelessness, crime, calls for service, and speed. So I want to put a speeding component in each precinct where we can have a consistent effort that officers that focus on speed enforcement. So that is my goal. I think those are the 2 things. 2 of the 3 precincts have environmental officers. If everything works out, we should have that 3rd one in Central Precinct very, very shortly. And then the next thing I want in those precincts are those speed enforcement officers. I just think that's important. Now, how do we get there until then? So I met with our budget analyst, Tabitha. We were going through some things yesterday and looking at some grant money we have. So we've talked about doing some overtime initiatives where we have officers just come in on overtime money that's been grant funded in particular areas of our city and just focus on speeding, right? Not anything, just focus on speeding infractions. So we got those 2 main corridors, Warwick and Jefferson Avenue, and there's different parts of both of those main thoroughfares that we do get speeding complaints from. We've had some speeding complaints around the Hilton area, Killen Creek, a little bit around Roanoke, Chestnut, Marshall, and then some shipyard traffic on that southern, I guess that's the southern part of Warwick, where we've got some speeding complaints. So right now, if I give that to the captains, they're like, we got to answer the calls for service, but when we have people free, we can do that. But I just think it has to be consistent, and that's really what I'm looking for. Is speeding complaint comes in, what part of the city? I give it to the captain, speed enforcement officers, and they give it to those guys and gals that focus on traffic. So that's where I'm really trying to get. So it's a commitment. The city has authorized us some additional officers. Remember, though, it takes about 2 or 3 months to recruit and get them in here. It takes 7 months in the training academy, and then it's another 3 or 4 months in field training. So I just wanted to share a little bit about. I don't know if that hit, Christine, when you talked about speed enforcement. I didn't mean to go off on that, but I do get a lot of calls and complaints about speeding, and I know it's real. We track all that. We do what we can with it, but my intent is to get permanent traffic officers and speed enforcement officers. We just, I don't know if you know, we just, with the grant money, we just bought some more radar LiDAR sets. We're going to put 2 in each precinct that will help us. So the equipment's there. I just got to get the bodies dedicated to using it on a routine basis, if that makes sense. All right, let's go back to, all right, so I got Chief Drew, I need to get with you about my son's case. Latrine, absolutely. I don't know if you've talked to some detectives recently or not, but absolutely. I thought I saw, I thought I had a conversation yesterday with some individuals that had reached out. But if not, just let me know. But absolutely. Susan, I just wanted to come on and say hello. Have a great day, Chief. Susan, thank you. It means a lot. I appreciate that and your support. Ms. Cox, I appreciate you. I got to talk to Carrie just the other day, and we were talking about police and community relations and asking how things are going. So I really appreciate that. Susan, add on people on their cell phones to speak. Oh, to speak. Oh, you're talking about people talking on their phone while they're speeding. Yeah, absolutely. Ms. Garnett, am I reading that right? Good afternoon, Ms. Garnett. Thank you for being here and joining us today. I appreciate that. Anna says, let me know when the speed enforcement's coming so I will slow down. Ms. Whalen, you better slow down. I seen you driving about 3 miles over the speed limit the other day. But yeah, I will tell you, it's just, it's you know, I go to talk to the citizens. It's at least weekly that I get an email about concerns about speeds in different areas of the city. So I don't want you to think they go unnoticed, right? We can send them to the precinct captains. But what I'm looking for is, and I think our citizens are too, is a consistent effort. If we just hit it now and then, it's like putting a Band-Aid on it. I want a consistent effort on speed. I know the council member I was talking to, we were talking about the exact same thing, that I want to make that a focus of the police department. So not only, for safety, and every person pulled over doesn't have to have a speeding ticket. Every individual stop doesn't require a ticket. But we do want people to slow down and be safe, and especially this time of year. I mean, school's starting next week, right? So as kids go back to school, walking to school and stuff, I just home and to and from, right, home and away. I just want to make sure that we're safe, right? So I can tell you that's coming, and it is like number 2 on my radar of things that I want to get accomplished in the next 2 months. It's like that's number 2. Joy, I read the domestic-related deaths on Saturday on Wavy. They said no suspect saw it. When it's phrased that way, does that mean you have the person responsible? The way it was written was just vague. So, Joy, it's written that way for that very reason, as the case is ongoing. And I'm going to say it this way. Sometimes, so we're not looking for anyone in that case. We know everyone involved. Sometimes, so I'm going to be vague here. Right, I don't want to hurt any case, but let me just say, sometimes when individuals are shooting at each other, it's important to determine who shot first, because sometimes the other person shooting might be in self-defense. So there are cases where things happen, and those actions that happen are justified. We still investigate it just like anything else, but as we look at statements and forensics evidence, collaboration with the Commonwealth Attorney's Office, the charges, if there are any charges, is there a criminal side, or like right, if someone breaks in your home and you defend yourself, or if someone starts to attack you and you hit someone on the street or whatever it might be, this individual thought I was someone else that came at me and I pushed them off of me, right? Although you put hands on them, you might be justified in what you did. So that's all I can say at this point. It is very 100% accurate. We're not looking for anyone else. We know who is involved. As we go through what actually happened in the case and working with the Commonwealth Attorney, we just need to look at the actions that were taken. Is that fair, Matt? I think, Joy, does that make sense? You got to read a little bit between the lines there, but was there a criminal act? Or were things you had to react to what is happening around you? So we'll leave it at that. But you're right, Joy. It was written vague, and I can't put. I want to be as open and transparent with this community as I can, but I don't want to jeopardize anyone that's coming in to be interviewed, or video footage that needs to be looked at, or statements, or what the forensics evidence shows, to jeopardize the case in any way, and give the detectives and the Commonwealth Attorney to work through it. But we don't feel like there is any risk to any citizens, and we're not looking for anyone else in that particular case from. What was it, Saturday morning? It's tragic. But it absolutely was domestic related. Lamont, can you talk a little bit about the missing kids that around the area, Chief? Lamont, I will tell you, I don't know if you saw the state police, that report that's going around on, and forgive me, I got people around me that know social media so much better than I do. but that report is completely false. Um, the state police even put out a story that report was false. We do not have any missing children in Newport News. We investigate numerous runaways, and some of the individuals who do run away from home, we usually find them in about 2 hours. And some individuals who run away multiple times. We find them, we bring them back, they run away again for whatever issues are going on, or whatever individuals they're hanging out with, whatever's going on in their family structure, with school, community, family, whatever it might be, brother and sister drama, whatever it might be. There are no kids that are missing in our city. And that report that came out, or all that stuff on social media, I shouldn't say, I don't want to say Facebook, was false. And the police, the Virginia State Police, our State Fusion Center, put out a story explaining that was false. So I don't know where it came from. Sometimes when we put stuff in the system, if other entities that use that system to report out don't go back and check it. So if there was a runaway on Monday and they don't go back and we find the person, let's say Monday night or Tuesday morning, that system that has them listed as a runaway or missing, that may be up there for 3 or 4 weeks before anyone ever goes back and looks at that alternate site system, right? So you have to be on top of that daily. So I hope that explains a little bit, Lamont, but I talked to the other chiefs as well. I know the state police put out a story that all that stuff about missing kids, that's just false. It's just inaccurate information. Chester. I recently looked at the police report for fatal accidents. I recently looked at the police report for the fatal accident I was involved in. One man was killed, and I laid in a hospital bed for 6 months. The driver didn't receive a citation or a sobriety test, just released to the drive home after the incident on December 24, 2019. Yeah, so a couple years ago, Mr. Williams, there could be a lot of things. If someone is a situation, and I don't know the particulars of the case, I don't want to, you're going back, what was that, 5 years, 6 years ago? So I don't want to speak out of turn. It could be that the individual could not perform some sobriety. It could be that there was a medical condition. Sometimes I was just sent a message the other day. I looked at this video, and it might have been up in Maryland, maybe Baltimore area, where an individual they thought was driving under the influence, but in fact had a stroke. So some of that behavior might be where they're unresponsive or unable to perform some tasks. So I'm not saying that's the case in your situation at all. I just don't want to misspoke. I just don't want to misspeak. But there are a lot of factors that could go into that situation. I'll be glad. I hope it says you were in the hospital for 6 months. Chandler, are you doing okay? I know that was a while back, but have you recovered from everything? And did you have to do any rehabilitation? And I don't mean to put your medical stuff out there, but I hope you're doing okay. I'm sorry anyone lost their life in that. Man, it's hard. But I hope you're doing well. I'm just not familiar with all the particulars of the case back in 2019. Pass on the info when you get it. So let me know when the speed force. Oh, okay, got you. Oh, you're saying pass on the info so people know about. Yeah, and look, I'll just tell you, a lot of times, right, when neighborhoods complain about speed, I'm telling you, the individuals that get stopped a lot for speeding are individuals who live in that neighborhood. Now, that's not always the case, right? People use cut-throughs or speed through, and I get that, but it's funny, just playing off of that post, that sometimes individuals, the neighborhoods that complain about speed, it's individuals in the neighborhood that are helping contribute to that, if that makes sense. Am I with Eric?
Yes.
Eric, good afternoon, buddy. It was nice to meet you at the restaurant a few Saturdays ago. Lost you. A few Saturdays ago, driving to work, this incoming down Warwick, Dairy Queen, and saw Batman walking down the sidewalk. He had a mask, cape, and everything. People are crazy. Kind of made me wonder why. Yeah, Eric, I didn't get any reports of Batman. I'm assuming this wasn't in October, but yeah, I don't know, my friend. It was great to see you and meet you and all, but man, I have to. was Batman buying? You know what? I don't even want to go down that road. I get it. Yeah, I get it, and I completely understand. Kayla, I hope you are having a great school year. I know you're starting college this year. Letter of recommendation, I'm working on that today. Getting all that straight, see what we can do with you with the police department up there. But so proud of you. Please make good choices. Just be safe. You know, your first year in college. It's a little different in high school. We talked about that. So please be safe. But thinking about you, I love you, and just do well. Keep me posted on those grades, though. All right, the real grades, not almost. Keep me posted on those grades. But I'm very, very proud of you. Latrice, did a detective talk to you yesterday? I just wanted to make sure I'm thinking of the right case. But if you give us a direct message, is that the right term, Matt? Direct message, and you put your number in there, I can call you right after this session, or depending on how late we go in here, I may call you after we get done. I still have a couple more interviews to do this afternoon for our sergeant process. But I'm going to be here late this evening. I'd be glad to reach out to you. Like I said, I'm going to be here. We have a 6 o'clock session as well, so I'm going to be here after 5, so maybe you'll call between 5 or 6. But just shoot us your number. You can direct message it, and I'll be glad to touch base with you and talk a little bit, okay? Joy, it does. Oh, we talking about yeah, it does. I understand. Regardless of circumstances, people should just walk away very sad. Yeah, Joy, I will tell you, of the criminal homicides we have this year, we haven't even talked about crime yet. Let me say so. I'm going to come back to Joy. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about just walking away in anger. We're going to talk about domestics. Malik, are you guys hiring? Absolutely. If you're interested in police work, I'd love for you to take a look at the Newport News Police Department. It is like a family here. We're community oriented. We're going to focus on our community, but we're going to have heavy influence, heavy impact with youth. Care about the men and women who do this job. I think they're special. Those that leave their homes every day and are willing to sacrifice and serve other people. There's not a long line of people that are willing to do this job. So we're absolutely hiring. We have another academy starting in October. I'd like to get 20 individuals in that class. Matter of fact, there's an all-day recruiting event coming up in September where you can come in and do the physical agility test, and you do 3, 4, 5 points of that process all in one day, so you don't have to keep coming back, But absolutely, we'll hire you at 20 as long as you got to be 21 when you graduate the academy. But the academy is 7 months long. So now remember, I want to get through. I don't want to leave anybody hanging, but I want to talk about those crime numbers in that press conference. Kayla, on the college, life is super amazing, but I love you too. That sounds great. It's good to hear from you. Newport News, what the foundation have to say? Can we stop for a second and say how amazing it is with our youth joining this live? Our YAP students are amazing. I see you can. So, who said that? Was that foundation? The Newport News Foundation. So, yeah, it is amazing, right? So we're talking to high school kids here that are in our program, that have come through our program. I think we have 3 that have been on here just today that have gone through. But I will tell you, I talk to them all the time. Sometimes it's just checking in. Sometimes it's, Chief, you're not going to believe what I saw. Sometimes it's, Chief, in this department they do this, right? And I will tell you, for folks at the foundation, a couple of students that I'm talking to that are in college, they're like, hey, can you call this police department here and tell them I want to do some volunteer work with them? Now, that gets me a little choked up, right? That they're in another city and they want to continue to give back. So I think that is amazing. So I would agree with you for the work they're doing, the time that we get to see them, spend time with them, see them graduate here in college. I had a couple young commissioners came back for this press conference on Friday. I'm still going to get to that. I promise you guys. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. But that was just really special. We had a press conference about mid-year crime and numbers and updates, and I think there were 6 or 7 teenagers that were in that room. That's what I'm talking about. And for you guys to come back and spend an hour with us Friday afternoon, that meant a lot to me. That really meant a lot to me. And I've seen some of you driving. I was going to church the other day, and saw this head pop out of the window and smiled at me and said, "Chief Drew." I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" And yeah, so one of our commit is just. So I agree. It's absolutely amazing. I'm going to ask you, Matt, scroll up just a little bit. Who'd I? No, got one more after that. Is that okay? Yep. Angela, the latest on my grandson's case. Yeah, Angela, I can't get out particulars on here. I'm not going to disrupt. I can't disrupt anything. There's the investigation. But I can tell you, if you shoot me a number, I will call you afterwards. But I got to be careful about talking particulars. I don't want to hurt anything in that investigation or anything in the Commonwealth Attorney's side as we work with them through those cases. And I'm not, please, and I hope you understand, I'm not putting any of that off. I will call you today. I just don't want to put anything out here that could be used in the defense or anything else that would jeopardize interviews that we have set up and things that are going on with that case. So hope that makes sense. Like any internship, like we do. They just had a posting out. I think there's a list of individuals that are looking for some internships. There's some interviews coming up. Like I said, if that's something you're interested in, man, just shoot me a call or send us a number, or I can get back to you and touch base with you. I'm going to be here late tonight, so absolutely. Latisse, you're welcome, and I understand. Absolutely be willing and glad to talk to you. We got internships. Thank you. Robin, my friend, good afternoon, Chief. Good to see you. Keep up. Well, Robin, I appreciate that. We're trying. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great summer. Although it's coming to an end, right? September is like, what, 10 days away? It's crazy. Joy, I'm sorry, can you call me back? Matt, can you write that number down, Angela? I'm going to shoot her a call right after. Can you see it on there on your side? Angela, absolutely will, and thank you for that. Joy, anything domestic related, friends, relationships, if I see the first and flag, I bolt. I don't give the person a second chance. It's more, yeah, Joy, I get it. I totally get it. Let me, Joy brought it up, and so is Angela, Miss Lewis. Let me touch base on this press conference on Friday. So the mayor reached out to me. He's like, hey, Chief, we're at mid-year. We did the same thing last year. I want to be transparent with our community, kind of share where we're at mid-year. But I'm really, really excited, stoked about what we've had happen this summer. So right now, the city for the year, every year we have to report our data that goes to the FBI. Right now, violent crime in our city is down about 8%. Our homicides in 2023, we had a bad year. And our homicides last year in 2024 at this time were 11, and our homicides this year, and that was like a 10-year low for us last year when we hit 11 at this same time frame. This year, we're right on the same pace. We're right at 11. And our shootings, we're down 2 shootings from where we were at this time last year. Last year we were at, I want to say we're at 38 right now. I think last year we were at 40. When I say shootings, I mean non-fatal, shot in the arm, shoulder. So we're lower in gun violence incidents by 2 for the year, and we're also tremendously lower in the summer. The summer last year, when I say the summer, I'm going to include May, June, July, and August, and I'll tell you why I'm throwing May in. May, June, July, and August last year, we had 7 murders. We had 7 people lost their life with homicides in our city. 7. This year, we have 4. Total this year, we've had 11 murders. Of those 11, 8 have been cleared by arrest. So we have 3 open. And then of those 8, 6 of them have been domestic violence. Domestic violence issues, right? Ex-boyfriend, girlfriend, broken up relationships. 6 of the 11 have been domestic violence. We've cleared 8 of the 11 so far this year. And our crime in May, June, July, and August is 13% lower this summer than it was last year. And then in that press conference, we talked about why. And if you ever put a puzzle together, right, all these different pieces that put a puzzle together to make this picture, right, it's the same thing in crime reduction. There's no way that 500 officers, 484 officers, can solve all the crime in the city. This is a city of almost 200,000 people. But the police department, the fire department, Commonwealth Attorney's Office, Newport News Public Schools, Community Service Board, human services, child protective services, juvenile services, neighborhood watch organizations, intervention, Miss January Surdin, this thing that she's doing at Riverside Hospital, Centera, the Office of Community Relations, our security staff, Friday Night Nets, right? Basketball on Friday night in the Debbie Community Center and at Achievable Dream. All of those things, our CARES unit with the fire department, all that deals with an alternate way to respond to mental health calls. All of those are pieces that fit in this puzzle that shows that crime reduction, that shows that those cases being solved. The FBI does a clearance rating, and this is the first year that they said, here's the national average of every department, doesn't matter, police, sheriff, doesn't matter, every department across the United States. Here's the national average on clearance rates. So if you have 10 homicides, the FBI says you should be clearing right around 50%. All right? So then the FBI said, we're going to also look at, here's the average clearance rates for cities, smaller cities, mid-sized cities, which we fall, and then larger cities. So our goal each year is to be above cities our size, but also be above the national clearance rate nationally for all of it. I want to look at us compared to cities our size, but also above that national average for all of that combined. And I will tell you in every category, murder, rape, robbery, aggravated assault, burglaries, auto theft, we are above the national average and we are above the cities our size average on clearance cases, meaning that arrests have been made. And that's important. It doesn't bring anything back, it doesn't change that it happened, but it's some closure and it's holding people accountable for actions that they do against other people. So that is important. And how do we clear those cases? Just of all those different things we talked about. The communities being involved, the technology that we've invested in, the training that we have, the men and women who do this job, it's our dispatchers, our CARES, it's working with our schools, sharing information in the communities that may partake in the schools and things that happen in the schools, sharing information with the police department so it doesn't carry over into the community. All of those things working together. And when we had that room, there were individuals that that really do a lot of work in the community. My friend Devon Kelly, Adrian, Catch More Kids, Jerry, got to see us up at the City Center event. He showed off his boxing skills, but he's also giving back to the community. And that, man, I said, would you mind coming? And he was like, you know what, yeah, Chief, you need to get out, I'll be there. And those are the type of things. It's Pastor Swan and Maxwell, Apostle Spells, and the different pastors, and Tremaine, the pastors that just send messages. They were praying for the community, we're praying for your officers, we're praying for our city. That matters. That so matters. It's the partnership with the NAACP. That matters. And all of those things together, like I said, are pieces of this puzzle. So I felt like it was a good press conference. But the mayor opened up saying it. I said it, and I'll say it today. Those crime numbers, those statistics, that data, those are individuals. They're not just talking points. They're not just points on a chart or a graph. Those are individuals that are victims or lost loved ones. It's our community. It's our neighborhoods. It's our families. I don't lose sight of that. But I need to know that if our strategies, are they seeing crime numbers decrease? That, hey, our strategies are working, we need to double down and stay focused on that? Or if we're seeing numbers increase, then we've got to change those strategies and develop and try something different. So that's why we track it. But I'm very cognizant that those data points, those are people. And I don't lose track. So some of Latrice and others that have asked, hey, Chief, can you shoot? Those are individuals that I want to make sure that we're doing the best service for. Now look, I wish we could solve every case like that. Some cases, some incidents happen in front of a camera. Some happen where an eyewitness is there. Some happen where forensics evidence is placed right there. We're able to collect it right away, make a quick arrest. Other cases don't always happen right away. That there is no technology in that area. That we know people know what happened but don't want to come forward. That we don't have the forensics evidence there. And people get frustrated like, well, my case hasn't been cleared and it's been 8 months. I can tell you, I told you of the 11 homicides this year, we've cleared 8. What I didn't tell you is we've cleared 5 other homicide cases that have happened in years prior. And some of those are 4, 5, 6, 10 years prior, right? We never stop working on those. But sometimes people are in a different place in life when they want to come forward and share information. Hey, at 19, I didn't want to get involved. At 29, I want to tell you what I saw, what happened. There's just different circumstances. So please don't give up. But I wish that we could solve every case right away. Sometimes it's someone getting arrested and they share with us some information like, hey, I didn't see this murder, but I know who did. I don't know about that shooting, but I know who did. Hey, I know where the firearm is, that his things developed over different years or months. But I know that's frustrating, and so I understand that. There's no hard feelings here. Every case doesn't work the same. Every case doesn't have the same pace. Sometimes they take longer. Advances in technology that we have today that we didn't have 5, 10 years ago. Camera systems that we have today we didn't have 4 or 5 years ago. As we continue to invest in technology, I think that's important. We're very, very progressive in this organization. I was just down in Atlanta with Chief Creswell looking at some new technology. Our shot spotter systems that we have, our license plate readers, our real-time crime center, our Fuchsia system that links into other cameras that are already in existence that we can tie into. All of those things play a role. And I'm not just talking about in crime prevention, I'm also talking about in solving cases and also about technology and training. The simulators that we have to teach officers how to de-escalate, to slow things down and address situations. Just look, before I go through any more, just last week, the president of the NAACP was in our training academy, and she went through some of the simulations. And sometimes you hear people say, I don't know why we didn't just shoot someone in the hand or just wing them, right? That's not what we're trained to do. And it is extremely difficult when someone's moving around or coming at you to just, so there's if we use deadly force, God forbid, it's what it's required for preservation of life. But this system teaches people to de-escalate. Hopefully you don't ever get to that point. Which is really, really good training, and we can change the scenarios. I'm very thankful to the Academy for putting on this training. Ms. Monica White and the next Citizens Academy are going to go through the simulator. The NAACP group is going to go through the simulator. We're actually meeting with them in August to talk a little bit about it and do a training session with them. I think that's so valuable to have them embedded in our training and our use of force review boards and talking about relationships in our community. I just think that's forward thinking, and I want to continue to moving that way. Our partnership with the Department of Criminal Justice Services, that's another piece of the puzzle that we work with about making sure that our training standards are state mandated and above and beyond. So those are things. Matt, let me catch up a little bit. I know I'm way behind on saying hello to some of our friends. We got Angela. Angela, we got Angela's number, right, Matt? Joy, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Dragon the. Oh, some of the stats. Okay, got you. Joy, I'm going to come back and talk to you about shootings here in just a minute. Good afternoon. Robin said hello, Matt. Robin, Matt's just waved to me and said to tell you hello. Crystal, thank you for being here. It means a lot. Kristen, exactly, and you are all greatly appreciated, but money and extra help is needed in our cities. Praying we get more outside assistance. Believe the extra needed help towards justice. Someone always knows more. Wow. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Does that bring me up to speed, Matt? Chris, you're absolutely correct. I can tell you there are 5 cases right now. We know who committed that crime. Individuals have told us who committed that crime, and I need those individuals to come forward and testify. And they don't want to, and I understand that. It's frustrating, but I understand that. They live in that community. They live in that neighborhood. I understand that. But their information has been helpful. We just have to now find another way to get the information that we need. And that sometimes people don't understand it. But I can't make someone come in and testify, and we only get one shot at it. So we don't just want to throw it against the wall and see what sticks. We have to feel like we've exhausted everything. So when we work with the Commonwealth Attorney on cases, sometimes they'll ask us, well, see if we have this, this, and this to go back and double check. Or let's try one more time to see if someone's willing to testify or give us something else that we hadn't had before. So there's just a lot of different oddities and elements that go into a successful prosecution. So you make very valid points, and yeah, absolutely. Joy. Speaking of cameras, I read yesterday that New Kent is going to start mailing $100 tickets to people who speed in construction zone. Yeah, I've heard of some departments doing that speed enforcement. We do the same thing with bus cameras. If you drive past a bus that's picking up kids, we do the same thing in what's the other one? We have some of our red light cameras if you're running red lights, those type things. So yeah, absolutely. We talked about youth. We talked about our press conference. We talked about the partnerships and relationships. Let's talk a little bit about back to school. So we talked Monday. We know school starts next week. I want to make sure we have a strong police presence, having our SROs at our high schools and our middle schools, having officers represented at our elementary schools. We're going to talk more a little bit about that on Thursday of this week. But I'm excited to see school start back. We had a great relationship with our school system. Dr. Mitchell and I talk a lot during the school year, and Mr. Stewart and the work that he does with security and staff. I'm excited to see high school football back. I think I'm going to wing it, Matt, but I think it's August 29th is our first game. That's a Friday, and then there's a game on Saturday. So I enjoy going to them. You'll see a lot of the command staff and officers out walking during those games. I enjoy seeing the kids play. We've had several teen camps this summer, kind of a ladies first camp. We've had a drone camp. We've had a youth leadership camp. Had a pickleball camp over spring break. So the investment we make and things that we do, it's a lot more in this profession than just solving crime. It's building relationships and partnerships, and that's one of the things we've been talking about in our interviews, right? That we're the sergeant interviews and selecting the next leadership is that's important. That plays a role. So yeah, I just wanted to share some of those things. We have, like I said, we've got academy graduations we've touched base on. We have 14 recruits in the class that will graduate in October. We have a new class that will start in October. We're still recruiting for that class, by the way. We have another class of 19 that will graduate, I believe, in February. And we have a class that's, like I said, that starts in October. Our goal is to get about 20 in that class. Our authorized strength now is what, 484. So we're adding positions. I will tell you on Saturday, when I started this session, Saturday was a long day. As Joy hit on, we had a domestic situation early in the morning, and then I think I went to 4 or 5 back-to-school events, and then we had a city center, or was a kind of a city celebration downtown. I got to interact a lot. The mayor came out and had some comments with council members. We got to see a lot of different vendors, and the Wednesday before that, I really enjoyed going to Port Warwick at the music festivals there. Myself and Chief Rogers, we usually meet up there about 6:30 and do a couple laps. I enjoy spending time with them, talking about how do we work together more? What else can we do? What's different? Matter of fact, in the press conference, we had Chief Rogers and individuals from the CARES team talk a little bit about how they're responding to mental health. Sometimes it's medication that may be mixed up, or someone's going through some type of depression or feeling a certain way that it doesn't really require a police response. And sometimes when we show up in this outfit, if people think, oh, am I getting arrested? Or it might trigger some things. So it's just a different way. And we've added to that CARES unit. It continues to expand. I think they're extremely valuable, and I'm appreciative. And they did a little interview after that. I think there were some citizens that did an interview and talked about our partnerships and relationship, and that's important. And that building those relationships and what changes things. Wow. Annette, did you hear me talking and put that up there, or did you put it up there before I started talking? I can't say it better than that. I think that's vital, important of what we do. We're all in this together. And, in this imperfect world, bad things happen. But we when you have a relationship with people, when you have a trust with people, when you have communication with people, you can address those things. There is no way that we're going to make everybody happy every time. It's just not going to happen. But what we can do is commit to being fair, to doing the best we can, and that's why when I said earlier about just thinking the men and women who do this job, people that are willing to serve this city and serve our citizens, they matter to me. Whether you're sworn or civilian, right? Our dispatchers, our detectives, our patrolmen that respond to calls at 2 in the morning when most of us are home asleep, individuals down in records, and forensic technicians who process crime scenes. I never wish anyone ever had to see, let alone spend hours photographing and measuring and collecting evidence and data. All of those things, just it's special, and I think that's why I think our military folks get it as well. That's why there's such a brotherhood and a closeness in this profession, because of what we see and deal with, because we have a relationship with our community, our youth, right, and what matters to our citizens. There was a couple funerals this week, an individual that had retired from, I guess 2 individuals that were prior law enforcement, and we attended those funerals. I was able to present surviving family members a flag in honor of their memory and service to our city. And makes you, when you get home, you kind of reflect a little bit about that. And I want the men and women who work here, I can never pay you enough for what you do. No one can. For the things that you see and experience, but what I can tell you is thank you. I don't think any of us joined this profession to get rich. It's about giving back. It's about serving people. I'm just appreciative of the work that you do. Sometimes it seems like there's another obstacle, and the chief wants us to do another form, or it's another event. Yes. But I'm telling you, it pays off, and it makes a difference in people's lives. And it makes a difference when you're sitting here just having a conversation with a computer screen and an electric eye looking at you, right? When high school kids come on and Chief, how's the department doing? How's Officer so-and-so doing? High school kids. That matters. Annette, you heard me talking. I see. You're very intentional about relationships, and I appreciate that. That's why I didn't move. Your leadership is top. Ms. Garnett, I appreciate that. I don't know about all that being top-notch, but I do know that people are, people talk a lot about leadership, and for me, leadership is all about focusing on people, right? Doing the right thing, focusing on people. Joy, thank you for sharing, and have a nice rest of your afternoon. Joy, you too. Please be safe. I think I've got a couple of numbers to call, and when I leave here, I've got at least 2 more interviews, so I'm looking forward to do that. Oh my gosh, Matt, we almost made it through. This person, Skip Blanchard. Hope you're doing well. Mr. Blanchard, I hope you're doing well across the water. You would know about the third comment we got into today. Skip was talking about traffic enforcement. Skip used to work for us in the police department. Probably one of the best traffic officers we ever had. I don't think Skip would write more tickets than anybody. I don't think he ever had a complaint on him. The only people who complained on Skip was somebody, man, he talked my ear off. Chief, I couldn't even get out of the hallway. But no, I'll still meet citizens, Skip, that tell me, Blanchard pulled me over and gave me 2 tickets, but he treated me with respect. And I hope you're doing well. I hope the wife's well and family's good. We got to get together soon, man. Be safe over there on the other side of the water. Speaking of that, myself and Chief Creswell were at a Chiefs meeting last week across the water. So it's the Hampton Roads Chiefs of Police Association. Our department chairs that right now. Chief Jenkins helps me, keeps me out of trouble, and my friend up in Pocosin, we chair that right now. And it's a great group, and you talk about what are issues in Suffolk and Chesapeake and Virginia Beach, Norfolk, here in Hampton and Newport News. Just talking a little Williamsburg, right? Like we talked about getting a group together to address some individuals, some businesses that have some code violations. We talked about speeding. We talked about how do you prosecute cases better. What are the things we can do to make to get more information to come with attorney's office? How do we speed that process up? How do we recruit? How do we retain? So it's just bringing a group together. There's about 30 of us. Federal partners are in that meeting as well. We look at like what's new in technology, what's new in training. What did you learn when you went to Atlanta? What did you learn when you're up in Boston or down in Dallas? So it's a great group. I really enjoy interacting with those guys and learn as much as we can. We talked about our teenagers. We learned a lot from them too. And I'm excited. We started our new Young Adult Police Commissioners program. I know we're getting close to time, but that's especially this time of year. Young Adult Police Commissioners, or YAPC. That's a freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior from each high school, and we meet with them every Wednesday for about 3 hours. We feed them. So it's about 24 kids. Last year I think we had 40. We have a gala at the end of the year, but we have real discussions, right? We talk about what they see, how they see our city through their eyes, what their expectations of the police are, what our expectation of youth are. What do youth want to do today? We have media outlets come in and talk about how to do interviews. So a lot of those students will do interviews with me. We'll walk through the community together. We hold an open forum at each one of their high schools, and they help facilitate that. And we have interactions, and myself and maybe someone from training or someone from internal affairs or someone from forensics. And, you know, Matt, people in forensics always get the best questions. Everybody wants to talk about forensics. Kelly Wells and others have just done a phenomenal job with that. But yeah, those high school kids, man. You just build relationships with them. You see them at football games and events. Samaya, every time I'm around her, she's got a camera up and recording something. And you know, I was talking to her the other day. Her schedule's busier than mine. Well, Chief, I'm speaking here. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And Kayla put on a gun awareness and thing over the summer that we had. We're very fortunate. We're very fortunate in this city. I know we have problems like any other city. We have the support of our mayor, our vice mayor, our elected officials, our city management, Mr. Archer, Mr. Clayton. I just had a conversation with him yesterday. One of the things he asked is, you know, how's the officers doing? And that matters. So I'm just very appreciative. Not only that, the churches in our area. We have a big event on Friday, Rise Against Hunger, myself and both academy classes, I believe. I need to call and double check with that, but both are going to be taking time out on Friday to go prepare meals for individuals overseas that aren't as fortunate. And when you have people do that, that matters. There's a lot more going on there than just placing food in bags. And we'll leave it at that. Anna says, have a good afternoon. Thank you and your team don't take time out to eat. We'll miss the afternoon. And I was scarfing down some French fries, potato fries, sweet potato fries, by the way, before I ran in here. I was like 2 minutes late. I felt bad. So I appreciate you guys taking time, having some conversations. There's other things I wanted to hit on. I know we talked about some other stuff. Remember the 9/11 ceremony is coming up. We'll hold that at CNU. More to follow on that, but you're all welcome to attend. I'd love to see you guys come, our community come down to graduation, see the newest officers. I tell them all the time that the graduation ceremony at our police academy is not just a graduation ceremony. It is a city event in our city. People come out to see those officers who are going to patrol their neighborhoods, their communities, and interact. And I'm thankful for that. I really am. So I'll get off here. I got some calls to make. God bless you guys. We'll be back. Kelly's going to be with me at 6 tonight, and we'll do this again later this evening. Okay? Take care.